Ended up being a pretty good game. Goes to overtime, but Alabama does survive against Auburn, 90-85, down by as many as 17 in the second half. It doesn't usually look pretty with Bama, but I feel like there is something to be said for the way they find ways to win games. I feel like this was another example of that tonight.
They're talented. They're talented, RC. I mean, that's the
good.
bottom line.
Yeah.
They can make mistakes and still overcome them, like they did at the end of that game. They fought back. They were down big, fought back, took the lead, almost pissed it away. Mark Sears made a couple kind of bonehead plays there at the end. But again, they're so talented. They got other guys. That's the beauty, right? Jaden Bradley doesn't play well, but you got Javon Quinterly coming off the bench there playing great tonight.
They're one of the few teams that can spot somebody 17 points and come back like they did. I mean, I know they were home. It's why we all think that they're going to be in Houston. I do. I should say that and been on that train
still
for quite
okay.
some time.
So you still do, even with all the and I haven't talked to you about this.
Yeah,
with all the distractions that have gone on involving Brandon Miller and the young guys. Some of the young guys, they got 4 young dudes, freshmen on that team. You're not worried at all when they get up there on the podium and get peppered with questions in the NCAA tournament about this? You're not worried at all.
Because you can control that. You don't have to take the freshman up there. If Quinterly plays like this, I'm taking Quinterly to the post to the presser.
All right.
And you can ask Quinterly all the questions you want. I'm gonna take all my vets up there and leave them out of there. And the one thing, as we all know, you get on the court, it all goes away. That's the sanctuary when you get out there and playing with all the distractions going on, and they're just talented as hell. Length, size, shot, shooting. I think the most underrated thing, everybody talks about the analytics and how many threes they shoot. I think they put so much pressure on you in the rim and in the paint that people just take it for granted, and then when you rotate, they get their threes, but they actually control the paint. So I'm on board with them. This game wouldn't have changed anything. I think Auburn threw everything at them because they trying to make a late season push to get in the tournament. They needed it for a resume.
I also feel like in terms of just pound for pound talent, there are not many guys in college basketball that can match Brandon Miller.
Not many. How about not any?
Right. I mean, I think you can say that.
Right. How about not any?
I think you can say that.
Yeah. No, his upside, because again, the best players in the country right now, John, are a lot of them are plotting bigs. Right. They're not guys you can just give the ball to and say, hey, go make a play. And oh, by the way, even if they play great D on you, you can still make a shot on them.
The play of the game was, I thought when he drove it, they had a guard on him. He drove it, shot it, got his rebound. And then I think in overtime where it kind of just put him up 5 or whatever it was like one of those plays where you're just like, all right, how many people are giving it to a guy that size on the perimeter? Go get me a bucket. And he does. And
the other thing, too, about Brandon that's underrated is his ability to make foul shots.
Yeah.
You can't, like a lot of these young kids, right? You put them on the free throw line, they're not consistent. And I know, that sounds like I'm like the old white guy. You got to make your free throws. But that's a real strength for his game, though. Because Randolph mentioned the pressure. Yeah, you cannot guard him downhill. No. And now, okay, you foul him. He's gonna 80% of the time. He's going to make the shots at the front. That's what he does.
84 for a freshman. Yeah. I mean, think about it. He's shooting 42 from 3 and 84 from the line, 47 from the field as a freshman.
Yeah.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Alabama is a team, and we see them in college basketball. It to me just they feel like a team that if you catch them in a 3-week span where they're shooting 45% from 3, they're going to be tough to beat. On the other hand, if you catch them on a weekend or a week where they're shooting 25% from 3, then I think they can be exploited. They're just one of those volatile teams where when it's really good, it's among the best in the country, and they can be had too if it's not.
They can't be great, right? They can't be great teams having a really poor shooting night. But they can beat teams like Auburn that are okay. They can beat those teams shooting 30%, 28% from 3.
Yep. And they you mentioned Quinterly, they might have young guys sort of at the margins, but like when it counts, they do have guys that have been in those situations before. And then you just sort of, right, you just pepper it around with that freshman talent that they have. And I mean, we talked about what Kentucky doesn't have. These are the ingredients that can lead you to, because I don't know if there's a great college basketball team this year. Like, I don't feel like there's one that just rises above the rest. I think you have like 5, right? And Alabama is one of those 5.
Yeah,
So,
100%. 100%.
you know, that
I mean,
and again,
like, talent wise, I mean, shoot, you can make a case they're one.
Well, that was going to be my question. Of all the teams that we're considering at number 1, from Kansas to Purdue or Houston, wherever you rank them, I don't think talent-wise any of us are picking them over Alabama.
No. And again, they've got young talent. They've got some older dudes. You know, Sears he didn't play like an older dude down the stretch, but he's got some experience.
Burnett.
Quinterly's been around forever. You know, to me, they got small guards, but they make up for it with their front line.